Alright guys, we're back here with another video on the Infinity Game Table, and today we're taking a look at two games that released this week on the Infinity Game Table. The first one we're going to be taking a look at is Air Hockey on the Infinity Game Table, and also the Spooki Hotel. Air Hockey is a game that can be played with one or two players. There is AI play as well, so you can play against the AI, and you can choose his level, so you can play in any way you want. And Spooki Hotel is a game for 4 to 6 players. It is a party game, and as you can tell, it is themed after Halloween. And this game is essentially a party game where there is a team of cats and a team of rats. And as you can see here from the board, everyone has a certain amount of doors around them, and certain people are cats and certain people are rats. And you're essentially trying to find all of these sleepy ghosts around the room. You're trying to find 6 of them before the rats either make you guess the door that has the scary ghost, which is the one you don't want to touch if you're on the cat team, or basically waste your turns not finding it and leading you astray to not finding those ghosts that you need to find. So it's a party game for 4 to 6 people. It's just in time for Halloween with a nice spooky theme. And you're basically a group of investigators trying to capture and find these ghosts before the rats go ahead and lead you astray. So let me go ahead and show you exactly how both of these games work.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with the first game that we're going to be taking a look at today. And as you can tell, this is Air Hockey on the Infinity Game Table. You can see you have 1 player, 2 player, and you can choose the AI level as well. Very simple game, of course, of it being Air Hockey's here. So we're just going to go and select 1 player, of course. And you do have to play on the left-hand side. You can see it counts the goals here that you have scored. So I can go ahead and move and start playing some air hockey now. What is probably apparent to a lot of you guys already, and why I don't think this game works incredibly well on the Infinity Game Table, which is, I guess, not a surprise for those of you guys who have this, is the fact that the touch controls have never been like 1-to-1. And I've always said that that obviously isn't a big deal for board games, because obviously for board games you're touching cards, you're touching dice. It doesn't need to be exactly 1-to-1. But you can see here, as I drag, there is some latency with the actual paddle here. So playing competitively isn't like... You're sometimes going to miss the puck just because of the fact that you couldn't reach there in time because of the lag. That was terrible. So you can see it does work, and it does work smoothly in the sense of like there's no lag or anything like that when it comes to the actual game, and the puck moves well, and the game is made well. But it's just not going to be a perfect experience on the Infinity Game Table, and that's just due to the nature of how the touchscreen is. And you guys can see that there, that you can see it's a little bit delayed. It doesn't follow my finger exactly, and that's just the touch latency on the screen. And it's never been an issue with games that are board games. It hasn't actually been an issue for me on almost any game on here, except for one other one, which is also similar to Air Hockey, because of the same exact idea. But the game is made well, and there's nothing wrong with the actual game itself, and it is Air Hockey, and I'm sure some people will get some fun out of this one. Just know that there is going to be some latency. It doesn't mean you can't play it, it just means you have to account for it. So it's not going to be perfect, and that means that when you're moving across like this, the paddle is going to be slightly behind your finger as you're looking at there. So it makes it a little bit harder to play air hockey competitively if you want to. But it is a little bit fun to play with someone else, because obviously you're both going to be on the same level playing field when you play 1v1 locally. So it's not a terrible experience, but it's just something you should be aware of, that there is that latency of moving the paddle around. But the game itself is a simple air hockey game that's made well with no lag or anything like that. And it's as simple as what you guys just saw. You can choose the AI level, or you can play 1v1 with somebody locally in front of you. The game I am excited to show you here today is the Spooki Hotel. Now, this is a game made exclusively for the table, and it's actually made by the Think Up group over there at the Infinity Game Table team. So it's a specific game made by them, and it's basically a 4 to 6 player game, and it's a deduction kind of game, and it's really cool. And I got to show you guys how this works. So we're going to go ahead and select 6 players. So you can play 4 to 6 players on here. And this is a perfect game for Halloween, too, and the horror time. So this is a great game, and they did a really good job with this one. So I definitely want to show how this one works. So as you can tell, the game starts, and what you're doing in this game is you're basically all sitting around the table, and everyone can click on this, and you can see if you're either a rat or a cat. Now, when you're playing a 6-player game, there's going to be 2 rats in the game. So you can see this player was a cat here. This player was a rat. If I click on this one, then that player is also a cat. Then over here, that person is also a cat. So we got cat, 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 and there's the rat. So we got 2 rats over here. So then as soon as everyone looks at their thing, it kind of progresses to the next stage. So now everybody knows who's what. So you're now either a rat or on the cat team. Again, there's 2 on a 6-player game, there's 2 rats, and then there's everyone else who are the cats. So after that, you look at that and you obviously hide it from each other because only you can know. You don't know who's on each team. You don't even know who the other rat is or anything like that. So then the game starts and everyone now has this magnifying glass in front of them. You click on this and hide it from your players again. And it's going to tell you how many ghosts you have in front of you. So I have 5 with no ghosts in front of me. So these doors essentially look like they're going to be empty. Then if I click on the next one here, you can see that I have 1 sleepy ghost in here. And 4 no ghosts. So 4 doors that are essentially empty and 1 that has a sleepy ghost in it. Going across the table here, this person has 3 no ghost spaces and 2 sleepy ghosts. So he has 2 sitting in there. This person over here has the main ghost there, the one that's scary. That's the one you want to avoid if you're on the cat team. So you can see this player over here is essentially has the bad ghost that the cats don't want to find, essentially, which you'll see here in the gameplay in a minute. So, and there's only 1 of those in the game. So you'll see this has 4 ghosts, no doors, and then 1 sleepy ghost. And then this player here has 4 no ghost spaces and 1 sleepy ghost. So essentially what you're trying to do, you can see the key pops up here, and the animations are done really well in this game. That shows you who the player's turn is. So this is this player's turn right now. It's got the nice spooky music in the background. You can see there's 6 spaces here. And essentially what you're trying to do is you're basically paranormal detectives and you're trying to find those sleepy ghosts that I told you. So if you're on the cat team, your objective is to find all the sleepy ghosts around the doors. If you're on the rat team, you're trying to deceive everyone else to make them think that you're on the cat team and essentially try to drive people to go towards the door that has the scary ghost that's sitting over here in one of these 5 doors. Now, no one knows exactly what their order is, so you don't know if these 4 spaces, even though you saw your stuff before, I think this person had 4 no ghosts at all, and then 1 sleepy. You're not going to know which position he is in the door, but you know what's in front of you. So now you're kind of talking amongst yourselves around the table. There's obviously the game involves a lot of talking and stuff, and it's this person's turn to essentially pick a door. So this person here might be like, hey, pick my door because, you know, I have a lot of sleepy ghosts over here, and we're obviously trying to find sleepy ghosts. But you never know. He could be a rat. He could be lying and telling you to pick his stuff because he knows that there's stuff over there. So let's just say that this person's turn right now goes, and it's say he picks that one here. Nothing here. So you can see the game pops up. It says nothing was there, so there was nothing in there. This person comes over here. Nothing here. Nothing here either. Then the turn keeps going clockwise here. We're going to pick one from over here. Nothing here. Now it's going to be this person's turn. Of course, I'm not going to pick any of these right now because I don't want the game to end, because the game immediately ends if you find the scary ghost, and then the rats immediately win. So you don't want to be doing that right now, so I want to show you guys a little bit more. Nothing. We're trying to find a ghost here. Next person goes here. There it is. We found one of the 6. So we found one of the 6 sleepy ghosts that we need to find as the member of the cat team. So you basically take your fingers and you squint on top of it just like that. And then the ghost gets captured into a capsule, and now you have 1 of 6. So you were basically, as the cat team, really happy that you caught one of those 6 ghosts. And now the next person goes again. Nothing. And now you can see all of the doors closed. And the ones that were already picked, as you guys can see, have this roped off feature here. So that means you can't touch that door again because obviously it's already been picked. You can see the roped off doors all around the table here. So you obviously know you can't pick those. And then everyone gets to see what they have left now. So now you know there's still 4 doors here. So there's no ghosts in here at all. So anybody who touches this is essentially wasting their time. So you only have 4 rounds to get through. Remember, these are the rounds up here. So we just did 1 round. There's 4 rounds that you need to get these ghosts. So considering that this player was the rat that we saw before, he might want to tell people like a lie right there. He might be like, hey guys, listen, I have 2 sleepy ghosts in here, or I have 1 sleepy ghost in here. Come touch my door. But he's lying. He's making people waste their turns because he doesn't have any sleepy ghosts in here. He doesn't know exactly where the where the scary ghost is, which is sitting over here. But he knows that he has no ghosts here, so he's going to make people waste their time to take turns and obviously not do anything and then waste the turns. Because if 4 turns come around and they haven't found all the sleepy ghosts, then the rats also win the game. So the rats can win the game in 2 ways. Either everyone wasting their turns after 4 rounds and not finding all the 6 sleepy ghosts, or, of course, they also win immediately. If someone touches that scary ghost that pops out immediately, then the game is immediately over. So this leads to a lot of back and forth, and of course this is waiting for everyone to kind of look at what they have in front of them. You can see he has 1 sleepy one, and this guy has 3 sleepy ones over here. Of course, this guy still has the 4 sitting over here with nothing, and you can see it's moving around. And now he has the scary ghost. So you can see that the ghost moves. So now the sleepy, the guy is now over here, the one that you don't want to touch if you're on the cat team. So it moves every single round that you're actually playing. So you obviously the ghosts move around. You don't know where he's going to be. So just for another round, so I can show you guys a little bit more of the gameplay, I'm going to avoid these doors over here. It's this guy's turn. So again, there's going to be a lot of talking at the table to find out where people are. We did find another one. We're going to grab him. Now we found 2. So the cat team is doing pretty well. We found 2 of them already. Let's go ahead and pick this door here. We know that these have nothing because that's what the guy got told. He has 4. He could be telling them, hey, no, there's definitely 1 in there, blah, blah, blah. Come over here, even though they're all wasting their turn. Here's another sleepy one here. 3 out of 6. We're going to go ahead and pick another random door here. Nothing there. Nothing here. Really cool there. We got nothing there. And then, of course, we got 1 more. We're going to just go ahead and pick this door. Nothing there. Now all the doors close again. New round starts. You can see we're on the 2nd round out of 4. And now everyone refreshes. So if you look over here, he, of course, doesn't have the scary ghost anymore because it moved. Everything changes now. He has 3 doors with nothing in it. So every round things are changing and you have to pay attention. So that kind of leads. So he has 2 sleepy ghosts and 1 no doors. And then he has 3 no doors still. He's got nothing going on over here. So he's still wasting everyone's turn. Same thing as this guy here. There's a scary ghost back over here in this door location. And you can see here that what he has there. So for 1 more round here, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're not going to touch this one so you guys can see it because we know the bad ghost is over there. But as you can see, this leads to a lot of conversations around the table. This guy who's a rat is going to tell people, keep clicking my door. There's definitely 1 in here. He's lying to them the whole entire time, of course. But it's a very easy lie to make because... Oh, and I touched that one and totally forgot when I was talking to you guys. But there you go. I touched the rat team has 1. You can see the winners here flashing right there because you can see that obviously they won because I obviously touched the scary cat there that jumps up, gives you a nice jump scare at the game. I totally forgot not to touch that doorway. But either way, you guys get the idea of how the game works now. I mean, there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of talking. Things are changing every single round. So the rats could have been telling them, like, hey, I got 3 things here, and one of them definitely is a sleepy ghost. Come over here. And then maybe 2 guys touch 2 of the doors, and then the next round happens, and then his things change. And people are touch that 3rd door, and they're like, oh, I thought you said you had one of the sleepy ghosts. And he's like, well, I did, but the round changed it, and now I don't have it anymore. It wasn't my fault. You know, you can have that back and forth and lying to figure out who's on whose team, and you're trying to figure out who the rats are and who's making stuff up to try and find those ghosts. I think this is definitely the best game that the Infinity team has come out with because they've obviously made a few games on their own on here that have come from them for their development studio. This is a perfect game for Halloween. It's a perfect party game. It's unique because you're not going to find it anywhere else, which is obviously great that it's a unique game that you can find on the Infinity game table. But I also think the animations and the graphics are super well done. And the game costs $7.99, and I definitely think it's worth it if you're into party games like this. This is a really, really good one, especially to play during the Halloween time frame that we're coming up on here now. So they did a really good job with this one. This one's going to climb up my list of definitely a party game to bring out. Really easy to understand and play with a bunch of people, and really easy to get into, but really, really fun to play as well. And it's always going to be like, let's play 1 more round. So really good job to them, guys. This is definitely way better than the air hockey game that we talked about before, but this one is definitely one that stands out, and you guys should definitely check this one out. So if you guys have any questions about anything you guys have seen here today, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.